So over this conversation that's just about to happen, or the next two, we're going to be looking at a couple macro trends that are really impacting sustainable investment. The first one is that of geopolitics. So in particular, the relationship between the United States and China. So it seems that when it comes to the climate agenda, the United States and China are pretty much aligned. If that is the case, what are the opportunities and what are the risks for global investors if that is the scenario? And I cannot think of two more perfect gentlemen to really walk us through this conversation than the ones who are joining us virtually right now to really guide this through. So please welcome John Vaske. He is head of the Americas at Temasek. And we have Secretary Henry Paulson with us. He's the founder and chairman of Paulson Institute. Gentlemen, we are all ears.
Great. Thank you very much. Good day to everybody in the auditorium, and it's great to be with you all this morning. It's a real privilege for me to lead this discussion with former Secretary Paulson. Maybe before we get going, I'll just share a little bit more detail in terms of his background, although he's a well-known figure to, I'm sure, all of you, joining us today. But Hank is the founder and chairman of the Paulson Institute. He's also the executive chairman of TPG-RC Climate, the climate investing platform of the global private equity firm TPG. Paulson is the co-chair of the Aspen Economic Strategy Group and co-chair of the Bloomberg New Economy Forum Advisory Board. Paulson served as the 74th Secretary of the Treasury from July 2006 to January 2009. Prior to that, he had a 32-year career at Goldman Sachs, ultimately serving as its chairman and chief executive officer. A lifelong conservationist, Paulson was chairman of the Nature Conservancy Board of Directors, and prior to that, founded and co-chaired the organization Asia Pacific Council. Maybe, Hank, we can start the conversation with just your current set of activities, which is, what motivations and thoughts went into accepting the role as a climate impact investor in the TPG-RC platform?
Well, John, first of all, it's great to be with you again, and with Temasek, which, as far as I'm concerned, is a gold standard in climate finance and green finance. So when I stepped down at Treasury, I spent my time working on public policy, economic issues, US, China, and the environment, and markets where they all came together. We all want to make a difference. And when I was approached by John Winkelried and Jim Coulter at TPG, I've known them for for a long time, liked the culture, but what really brought me to this job was a real understanding that now the time is right, the markets are aligned, so that it is very possible to make profitable investments in climate finance that make give attractive returns and make a big impact in terms of carbon avoided. So I'm able to bring my roots, in finance back together with my work in public policy, and so I'm really looking forward to this, and I think there's great opportunity. And you and I both know it's going to take trillions and trillions of dollars to meet this challenge we've got in front of us in climate change. Governments don't have the money. The private sector does. That money's not going to come in the size we need for a concessionary return. So I see our job very much like you see Temasek's job as proving that climate finance can be attractive and helping to bring more capital to this area. So I'm fully engaged with the TPG-RC Climate, and I think we're off to a good start.
That's great. One of the things we talked about as you were out in the fundraising, you have an extensive, if not vast, network of CEO relationships. I'm just curious if you could share, as you went out and talked to them, about the opportunity set and how they're thinking about this set of conditions in the current environment as well.
That was fascinating, because if 2 years ago I'd called the CEO up and I'd said, what are you doing in climate finance? They'd say, oh, we're a leader. This is very important. Talk to my sustainability officer. Let me talk to you about US-China relations. Today, I found that every CEO I talked to was focused on this big time, either for offensive reasons, so they saw terrific opportunities,